All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for staying with us right here on Diaspora Vibes. You are joining us for the second bit of the show, and this is where we have a studio interview with my guests. The guests for today are artists who are based abroad and usually do their rounds and come here. One of them is based in Kenya. They go by the name Kenti and Shukid, and we just basically want to discuss matters pertaining to arts and culture in the diaspora and within. Shukid and Kenti, thank you very much for joining me.
Absolutely. You're most welcome.
Thank
amazing. You for having us.
All right.
Yeah.
So today we just want to discuss issues that are pertaining to arts and culture. And the good thing is that both of you are artists, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe if I just start with Kenti, you're an artist and you're based in Abu Dhabi, right?
Yeah, correct.
Now, Abu Dhabi is it's a first-class country, and you know the restrictions that are usually there. I don't know if the restrictions are there, but you know what people say, there's super major restrictions, and with the laws and everything, people from the lower classes actually suffer mistreatment here and there. Just as a person, not even vis-a-vis as an artist, how was your transition moving into the space, into the Abu Dhabi space?
For me, it was tough. I would say it was easy and it was tough.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning I moved to Dubai first, and then I lived there for like about 1.5 years, and then I moved to Abu Dhabi. Yeah, so at least I had that experience of being in Dubai and then moving to Abu Dhabi. It was easy, things were easy for me. But I think Abu Dhabi for me is more of a calm place compared to Dubai.
Yeah.
Dubai is a very fast place and very chaotic in my opinion, because there are many people from different parts of the world. So it was easy, yeah.
All right. So just even before we continue the conversation, I forgot to mention that earlier on we spoke with Angie Owoko. She's an HR administrator based in Qatar, and she does vlogging as something on the side, probably just to keep her active and all that kind of stuff. So maybe let's just listen in on her introduction and get to know who she is.
So my name is Angie Owoko, and that is the name that I go by on YouTube, but otherwise my official names, full names are Angela Owoko. I live and work in Qatar. I've been living here for the last 2 years.
Getting different bites here and there. So just before we cross over to Shukid, we're still on you, Kenti. Social media is a very critical beat of any sort of artist, like any sort of business that an artist would like to venture in, because it's where you push your content, it's where you advertise yourself and all that. In Abu Dhabi, just a couple of years ago, they introduced something that was a TikTok. You probably heard of it, and there were claims that it's actually used by the top officials to spy on people.
Very true.
Just as an artist and a foreign artist who moved into Abu Dhabi and who don't have I want to believe there are people who don't have the same luxury as you to exit to other places to come and work on their projects. How is that environment for such people?
It's quite tough because when you look at the social media platform in UAE, you cannot post anything.
Yeah.
You know, there are so many restrictions on what you're posting, and they're very strict. They can take, very strong measures to people. You can be taken to jail and stuff like that. So you have to be very careful on what you're posting as an artist or just as an individual.
Right.
Yeah, so it's different compared to there and here. It's different from here, yeah.
All right, let's now cross over to Shukid. Those are two questions in you wondering when am I going to speak?
I'm learning.
Okay, fine. So Shukid, I just want you to tell us, what's your relation to Canada? What's your relation to Canada?
I grew up there.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You were born in Canada?
My folks, no.
Oh, you were born here?
Born there.
Yeah.
But I grew up there, became a teenager there and stuff like that. I studied out there and then moved back to Kenya eventually, yeah.
This was around what time?
This is like what? Can't remember. What year was this? Maybe 05, 06?
05, 06. Okay, so Shukid, you started doing music when you're in Kenya right here, right? You've been able to see different challenges that people are going through, and one of the biggest things that comes with artists who give up their work in terms of English, like in the Kenyan context, people speak of, the brother, he's trying to emulate somebody, he's trying to be somebody. But according to me, people always want to emulate people who've actually done something. attained some level of excellence.
True.
How have you been able to wave the waters with this type of criticism from your own people?
I mean, there's fan bases for everything. That's what I believe in.
Yeah.
So the fact that we just stayed persistent and kept on going,
Yeah.
our fan base grew, and the voice, it's almost like we become one voice.
Right.
And we kept on pushing for the kind of music we like to listen to, just like anyone else, because we just felt like the kind of people we listen to is almost in every other person's phone or laptop.
Yeah.
And so why are we being stopped from doing what we do?
Right.
So as we kept on pushing, more people got into the industry with the same views and persistence. I just say it's the persistence,
It's the persistence.
That stuck us there.
All right. Now, if you listen to different people from Akon and just basically people out there who've made it in the arts and culture industry,
Yeah.
a very critical point that comes up is that they always speak of the fact that Africans love to portray African stories in a negative way. Like that's one thing, we love to tell things in a negative way.
Sure.
But I really don't believe this, because if you actually listen to her name, Angie, she's spoken about having restrictions as well, which we'll just listening into this after this.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the case? Are we just objective, or this is something that has actually crippled the pace at which we actually remove our art to the world? Maybe if we go to you, Kent.
You can go first.
Oh yeah, you want to?
Well, I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we portray sometimes because artists are what they call like the face of society.
Right.
So sometimes when you're trying to portray what's going on, some of the ills, that's maybe sometimes your duty as an artist. But if it comes to like complaining about maybe certain injustices,
Right.
like maybe someone did you wrong and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I think it's also allowed.
Okay.
So it's upon us to make there be so many good things that there's so much more good to talk about.
Right.
We can't just start throwing things out of nowhere just to save face.
Okay.
So if at all, let's say we're trying to change things the way things are supposed to be, we're going to speak on what's going on as per now.
All right.
Until it gets better.
All
So
right.
it's not like we're trying to celebrate the negative or
Right,
anything like that.
right.
Hopefully the motive is to change stuff.
So
Yeah.
it's just the current situation that we're trying
Yeah,
to
that's
portray.
yeah, exactly.
Right. Kenti, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'll just add on that.
Yeah.
It's what we're showing to the world, and that's what they're thinking about us. It's what we're giving, and that's what they think who we are. So if we portray nice images about ourselves, then I believe those people out there, they'll be able, to view us on very high levels and compared to other nations. Yeah.
All right. All right. So maybe just before we actually go into the art that you guys are doing, let's probably just rope in Angie and listen to what she had to say with regards to the limitations that she faces in her job.
Mm-hmm.
People would tell me that you need to come because most of my videos are very, very positive, and I meet some people in the States and they tell me that you need to come and make a video of men like our Kenyan people lying about maybe drunk somewhere, and people have the notion that alcohol is prohibited in Qatar, so people don't drink, and people ask me, why don't you make a video or to show like how people can drink and just waste their lives and even just not even know where they are. But I know that I cannot do that. I cannot tell that story because of the limitations that I have.
All right. So yeah, that was Angie's views on with regards to the government just actually limiting certain things that you can do. So let's now come into the real situation before I actually go to Shukin. Kenti, you are in Abu Dhabi and you've definitely met other artists who are there. What's the situation down there with regards to the artists who are actually the exact or the actual citizens? Do they face these limitations, or it's a biased kind of environment for content creators?
Well, they do face those limitations as well, especially the ladies. You'll find, for example, that TikTok application that you were talking about. There are things that you can't post. And if you're going to post, you have to cover your face so that, your family members don't see you, your friends, your schoolmates don't see you. So there are those, horrible restrictions.
Right.
For us as artists, it's really tough. Because, for example, if I want to go and shoot a music video,
Yeah.
it's not that easy, you
Yeah.
know, like compared to here.
Yeah.
Here, I can go to the streets and I can just shoot a music video.
Yeah.
But over there, you have to get a license, you have to get the permit, which is quite expensive. It's like
Right.
a fortune getting the license, and they try as much as possible to protect their country.
Yeah.
So there are those restrictions and limitations for us as artists to get to that level. Yeah.
All right, so this is actually the main reason as to why you do your projects on this other end.
Yeah.
Are there any projects you've worked on abroad?
No.
None. So
no.
how many projects have you worked on so far?
3 of them.
3 of them,
Three
and
of
this is
them.
over here.
Yeah, I've done everything here. Yeah.
All right, so basically what you're trying to say is that, for example, in Abu Dhabi,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say an artist would want to, probably Shukid wants to relocate to
Mm-hmm.
that space, it's not such an appropriate environment for an artist.
For an artist, no.
Yeah.
No. Because for me, I just feel like they've not reached to that level where they're really embracing art compared to other countries.
All right.
Yeah, so I believe they will get there, but at the moment, no. Yeah.
All right, so back to Shukid. Now, just with regards to, let me, I just want to read something that I had with me over here. And it is one of your quotes, right? In probably a statement that you released. And I know you've probably been asked this a million times, that it's your feud with Victoria Kimani. You've had it, right? And
snap.
it was a quote, I approached Victoria Kimani because I thought it would be a great experience and help to my brand. We should actually grow it to reach a new audience, but the treatment I got was unacceptable, and we were displeased since she claimed to be mindful of other artists, right? Now, from that statement, you reached out to Victoria Kimani, just basically trying to reach other new audiences and stuff.
Yeah.
But just away from the loyalty discussion. I know you're a Kenyan, you're a patriot. Away from that,
Yeah.
why do you always have to feel as Kenyans that we need to source other artists from outside there to make us go big? Are we up to the march? Are we up to standards?
That's really on the promoters end, you know, because the promoters trying to make his cash back, and like anything good, things take time, you know.
Yeah.
So we might not be at the level where Kenyan artists are doing, but they're doing good, I think so, because Oktoberfest was purely a Kenyan lineup, I think so, last year, and it did good numbers. You know, people were really out there. So as long as we can continue building it, you know, it's in no time it can happen, because there's so much music out there.
All right.
And there's so many artists out there that are putting out quality music.
Yeah.
And the community of people that listen to Kenyan music is also growing day by day. So I think to some extent, I don't want to say we're super there yet, but to some extent we're there. So we can rival. Like if you have a gig where there's your favorite Kenyan act, and then there's an alternative international act from, you know, you're probably gonna go to your favorite Kenyan act's gig if it's the same night, you know.
Right.
So, and it's happening now.
So you actually feel it's not even an issue of talent. You feel we're up to the task.
We're up to the task, I think, because we have the resources, we have the sound, we have the equipment,
and stuff.
we have the clientele, and we have the know-how.
All right.
So I think we're there to some extent, because so many, even the younger artists, they're doing their own small gigs. I did gigs for my Shukid Season project, which I dropped a while ago, and these are just small communities of people. Like you're finding 500 or so people at some of these small venues that aren't the larger events, and that still counts, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you've both actually talked about interesting issues, and I'd still just want to ask Shukid one key thing. You came into the industry, into the line around what time? Around 2012 stuff, right? Yeah. You've been able to see different sounds emerge, some fade away and stuff. And this, it has been a discussion that has been going on.
I see you. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, so you are a hip hop artist, right? You're a hip hop artist, and you're doing amazing and beautiful work, and people like to shy away from this. But just with regards to what's going on right now, just share your thoughts on the current music scene. And especially, you know what I'm about. I
know where you're going. Right? I saw you from a mile away. But I mean, it's cool, man. As long as it gets the people moving. I have my own restrictions for it.
Yeah.
but I kept on hearing people like, if it's not for you, then, so it's like, cool, I'll back off.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a say on what people are doing.
Yeah.
But if we have to like to get down to it, it's not the kind of stuff I promote.
All right.
Necessarily.
Yeah.
There's a fan base for it. People want to make it clearly, but you know, not to like talk smack or anything. But you can see like how the lifespan it has.
Okay.
You know. So good music, or I mean, yeah, good music just lasts. I'm more about making music for longevity.
Okay.
Not necessarily for like hitting in that period of time, because it just ends up dying off.
Also, so there's a timeline to it.
There's kind of a timeline to it. Yeah.
Now I've seen Candy, you were there nodding and stuff. You probably know what we are talking about and stuff in the blanket.
We're calling it it.
Yeah, so that we don't give it a name. So Candy, like, you've been here, you've done 3 projects. Do you ever see yourself actually doing a collab or working? Because a big part of growing is actually diversifying and collaborating with the Kenyan sound right now. How is it received out there? Because you're out there, when you go to clubs and joints and all that kind of stuff, do people actually listen to this music abroad?
Honestly speaking, I would say maybe people like Diamond, and maybe someone like Calligraph.
All right.
The others, we're still trying, but we'll get there. Yeah. But the local clubs, the African clubs over there, they do normally try as much as possible to promote the African music. Yeah. But Kenyan music, they're trying. They're trying.
Fine. And another critical thing is that if you actually check out the components in different places like the United States, you have agencies that actually follow up on issues like royalties, speaking of royalties, basically monitoring what artists need to get like their due right. Is this something that you've seen? I know the situation, as you've said earlier on, it's not a good situation for artists in Abu Dhabi, but are there certain elements in the government processes and policies that we can pick that you've seen work over there?
To be honest, no, because I'm not so much aware of the artists over there. And most of the artists that are doing their stuff over there, they're people from other countries. They just come and perform. For example, like live music, they'll just come and do live music, and then that's it. Performing, live performances, maybe artists from other nations, will just come for gigs and then travel back.
All right, so just as we wrap up, Shukid, the biggest conversation with regards to music has been the MCSK, the royalties and all that. Why you caught up in this mess? Did you get your dues? Did you feel like you were shortchanged? Or what's just your general thought on the whole situation? Are these people trying their level best, or are artists just outside there complaining and there's no much money being made out of music?
Music's being played every day, so there's definitely money being made out of music. It's playing in matatus, it's playing in clubs, it's playing on radio, it's playing. So there's definitely there's definitely money being made off it. Personally, not to promote picking sides or anything.
Right.
I'm personally not registered for my own reasons. I didn't feel comfortable with the way they were running things, so I'm not gonna subject myself to complaining every other time. I feel like some of the policies, or most of the policies they have in place before we even get to the money, didn't sit right with me.
All right.
And I felt like it's more of a record deal situation than a governing body type of situation. So it's just like, I'll back out until things, but I'm following up. It's not like I'm backing out and staying ignorant. I'm trying to see, once things are set in place properly, it feels like something I'd want to subject myself to. As per now, I mean, they're saying things here and there, things are being said. We're just watching, trying to see. Hopefully things do work out the way it's supposed to be. Hopefully artists do start collecting their dues as we're supposed to, because like I said, music is playing everywhere, man. It's really playing.
It's playing.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Shukid and Katie, for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for gracing us with that. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the horse's mouth themselves. with the situation in regards to MCSK, basically getting what you need to do, and the situation also outside there for people who actually want to relocate to the diaspora. It's not such a pretty situation, but if Katie can make it work, you can make it work. And if Shukit can make it as well, you can make it work, right?
Okay.
Don't go away. We want to take a short break at this point, but when we come back, we have our segment Diaspora Culture with Kawira Wagideji. Stay with us.